BTN, 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 BTN.
All right, we back with another behind the name virtual discussion. You know what I'm saying? I'm your boy Boo Stella with my co-host and my brother and partner in crime,
Hey,
Ron. Hey, we got another special guest representing that triple phase life. My brother, man, a beautiful individual, man.
with that
Love to death. Got my boy BeBe.
final chapter.
Final
Gratitude.
One of my teachers, one of King
Gratitude.
Charles' teachers, and so
Yeah,
many other
teachers, man.
This man right here, man. So we about to get straight into this, because I'm about to learn so much at myself. So I want to kick this conversation off with I want to take it way back, all the way to the beginning of BeBe and your first encounter in what got you started, even just into learning how to footwork.
Wow.
What was your beginning? You know what I'm saying? when was the first time you saw footwork and just the coach?
Well, J. Ron, to answer your question, sir, and I'm glad you asked that question. When I was first introduced to footwork, it was in 1992, man. I was 8 years old. It was some individuals in East Hazelcrest, because I used to reside in East Hazelcrest in the south suburbs, for those who don't know. And the members, these following individuals, I can name them. I can name a few of them that people don't even know. And I wish they was on board. Boo, I don't know if RP Boo remember them, but they was from House of Matic originally. It was William Blessingame. It was also Mike Lewis. There was another guy named Lawrence. He kind of reminded me of Eli, talking tall and dark. And then there was another guy named George. And DJ Dion used to come around them. Rashad used to come around them. Morris used to come around. That's how I was introduced to Morris during those earlier stages when I was introduced. Now they was House of Matic. I was not affiliated with House of Matic nor with the group, but they showed me. I was like, man, that's cool. What they doing? You know, I see the guys in the neighborhood doing it. I'm like, man, that look cool. I want to do that. Teach me that. So they say, hey, you come over here, B. And I start, they started showing me moves, the butterfly, the percolator, everything. We had cassette tapes. DJ Malcolm was DJing around that time at Markham Roller Rink. So it's like I was not affiliated with them. Then they transitioned from House of Matic to the firm. So that's where I started to understand who the firm was. I'm like, oh, y'all the firm now? Y'all went from House of Matic to firm? And then it's like later on, maybe a couple of years, not too many years apart, they become Wolfpack. So I don't know Ant Brown. I hear of them. I don't know it. The first time I ever been to the Cavalinis, it was with them. They snuck me in.
A lot of people been getting snuck in these parties, man.
I got snuck in too, BeBe. I got snuck in too, BeBe.
That was part of this history, getting snuck in them parties.
Hey, that's how it was back then. You know what I'm saying? It was so dope. But during that time, I had relatives in Chicago, and my grandmother being from like 64th and King Drive over that way. It was the Bud Billiken parades. So I used to see groups like U5U. Then I seen House of Matic as a group, as a unit. The outfits, the windbreakers. You know what I'm saying? The down jackets. You know what I'm saying? Everybody organized, banging. Boom. Then you see West Side out there representing. You know what I'm saying? So I was exposed to a lot as a kid. I'm on the side like, wow, they doing it. But I'm not in the group. So that inspired me to get in a group. And like going years further along, I was independent. I was just an independent dancer at the time, just learning from the guys I knew those guys. And I started going to Markham. So around 97, I want to say around 97, I met this guy named Gabriel. Gabriel was affiliated with Total Impact. And I met a host of others because I went to school at Prairie Hills in Markham, Illinois. So I'm back and forth between the cities. I stayed on 26 in Indiana in 1997, but I'm originally born from Harvey, Illinois. I'm a Harvey, Illinois native.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? My family just live, they from the city, but my father from the city, but I'm a suburbanite. I spent most of my years in the suburbs, south suburbs.
Harvey.
What's going on?
Harvey. Uh-huh.
It's Paige. Hello. Beautiful smile.
Hey.
So with that being said and done, moving forward, I meet guys like Ken Low-Key. I meet guys, and around that time, of course, I encountered Ro. I encountered Tink, House of HOC, a variety of groups. You know what I'm saying? Panic with C-Bit. You get what I'm saying? So it was dope, man. It was just a dope culture. It was so many, and I don't mean to leave out anybody. You know, if I can't recall on certain names at this prior time, you know, but like I said, Tink, I remember Tink. Tink burnt me at Markham. He was more advanced.
Who is Tink?
Tink was from House HOC, House of Creation.
Okay. For those
you
that
get what I'm
know.
saying? So he wrote with Ken and them. So, you know, I got Henry, guys like Henry, many more, just so many, a host, because the culture, our generation, it was just so many raw dancers that it was real competitive. So it was like you couldn't individualize one dancer and be like, oh, that's the best. No, because you had cats like Carlos, you know what I'm saying? You had just as many more that people are probably familiar with from your prior interviews. And it was like, man, you taking me back. And so Ken Low-Key, but hold on, coming into Total Impact, Ken Low-Key was like the hero when it comes to the battle scene. Because, you know, Marlon used to have us do all the performing, because back then it was about performance. You know, you had Deanna, you had Anthony Bailey, you know what I'm saying? You had who else? I think Alicia. It was a lot of girls, a lot of people. You know, Jeff. It was Eric. You know, Chris. It was a lot of older people who don't even dance anymore. You know, that was around during that time where we used to practice at the field house in Markham. So, with that being said and done, it was like I met Kenlo. I got acquainted with Kenlo, and me and Kenlo used to be like a duo, but I was still going through my developing stages of improving when it comes to footwork. Even though I was introduced to it early, it was still more that I had to learn over time, you know, about neatness, form, being organized, you know, because I used to dance real fast, because, you know, you could distinct the difference between Chicago footworkers and South suburban footworkers. They had distinctive styles. Right. Chicago were more aggressive and faster when it came to their movements. The South suburbs were more slower, more neat, like more, I don't want to say neater, but to some degree, some would say neater. I just got to call it how
it is. It is. It's neater. If you can see it, you can see the detail better.
Right. So
that's true.
It is what it is. You know, I mean, I can't tell no lies here, you know. Not to disregard the city, because the city had hitters, killers, you know. They just come out killing. That's all they know. Smoke, 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 fire, smoke. You know, so let's not disregard that. And then with those guys on the other side, what's interesting is Darnell Coleman was like, because Marlon Chambers was my first leader. Okay, but the guys that came before them, they were like my leaders because they introduced me to footwork, but I was not affiliated with their group.
And Marlon was the leader of
Total Impact.
Hold on.
All right.
Total Impact.
Which
And
we gotta get him on the show.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, man. I mean, it'd be dope. He know just how it was. I hated those routines, you know, them pop and roll moves. I couldn't get that, man. You know what I'm saying?
You wasn't popping and rolling?
I mean, I started popping and rolling once I realized it got the girls though, because you gotta remember back then, you know, it was, you know, the girls like that. You know, you can move your body and do the butterflies and get on the floor, you know. So,
Right.
you know,
Okay. Yeah.
I said, let me get with that a little bit. But
Yeah.
it was not my forte, y'all, Boo and J Rod. It was not my forte. I was more interested into the battle scene. That's what intrigued me more.
Right.
So when the game transitioned from groups, everybody, because you didn't just see individuals, you saw the group. So when you saw certain individuals, you saw them as a group. Okay, that's HOC. Okay, that's Panic. Okay, that's K59, whoever. You know, Phase 2, CMD, whoever. You know, that's them.
Right.
So, but it was a handful of shorties in each group that was just as intrigued as we were on the battle scene. You know, so they didn't. All of them didn't get with the performance scene. You know, some did, some didn't.
Right.
But it was like the battle. We were more focused on the battle. That was my primary focus. Battle, 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 battle. Oh shoot, I get butterflies. The battle. And then it came like people, the guys that introduced me to footwork. They said it one time. They said, "Are you ready for Q?" Because at the time, Q was like a renowned shorty throughout the South suburbs. Notice I said the South suburbs, boo, because it was probably some more shorties
I'm glad
that's in the city that people didn't know about.
Right. Thank you for iterating that.
Yeah.
And let me clarify that. But then you also had Reno, who some know as Reno, but we called him Deontay from the Firm. Okay,
Right.
and Little Rob in there. So, and Cash and Lonnie in there with BT. So the Firm, you know, we used to look up, and I used to admire their style, their neatness and their style, but they were distinctive from House-O-Matic. You can see the House-O-Matic influence. Then you can see, you know, because Darion was in his prime at the time. He was a beast. Let's keep that real. You know, I'm not gonna disregard anybody on here. I'm not biased. Pooh already know what's up. You know what I'm saying? We family. He used to come over to my house to eat pancakes. You know what I'm saying? At my grandma's house eating pancakes, Joe. Hey, where Pooh at, man? I gotta tell him. But it was a rivalry. It was a rivalry that we developed in my generation from each crew, whether it was Chaos, let me not leave out Chaos Posse, you know what I'm saying? A lot of everybody, Panic, everybody. So it was like, it was such a rivalry. And disco balls. Oh my God, let's not forget. Do anybody talk about the disco ballers? Do they talk about Butterball? I mean,
that's some stuff that needs to be spoke on, because they don't.
They don't.
You speaking over heads. That's what this about.
So let me know, y'all, if I'm going too fast. Just let me know if I'm going too fast.
No, you good. You good.
No,
you good. You good. You keep going into detail.
And look, they're like, we got all the time. Look at Jay Brown and Boo. Boo sitting back like, yeah, okay, yeah.
Learn
Yeah,
it.
so back then, and also, let me throw this out there. How could they forget about even on the other side, CMD? Okay, let me throw that out there for them, because we had to battle them heavily, and I'm gonna bring y'all up to speed. That's how I first saw Ant, because it took years later. I didn't even know Ant, even though I've been around for years. Okay, so, you know, we go through this phase in the South suburbs. I'm talking about me collectively and the individuals within the South suburbs, those who have passed, Boo. I'm talking about Boo from HOC, you know, people like that, you know, Van, Troy, everybody. So it's like we go in solo, of course, we go through this phase where we go from groups, then eventually cliques, and some people still held on to the group aspect, you know, like that's why I think Triple Phase kept hold to that. They were like that group that still at the time continued and was consistent in regard to maintaining their individuality as a group, you know, with the performing. Okay, not just battle, but performing as well, you know.
Mm.
So moving along, Marlon eventually, like, cause like I tell y'all, this interview, I'm gonna tell y'all have to do more interviews, and my story would not be able to complete like the totality of the history of footwork. So let's get that understood. I want to make that very clear. But moving along back towards the battle, I'm gonna tell y'all where the battle click started forming. Over time, we started to see more groups like fading away. You know, certain groups in the city still maintain that group aspect of footwork. You know what I mean? Like they kept hold to, we a group, we go perform at the parade and we'll do our thing and do shows. You know what I'm saying? So the city never lost that. But the south suburbs started to fade away at one point. And the battle scene started becoming more popular. So as the battle scene started to increase, you started to see a new generation form of dancers where you see you see your Mannies, you see your Curtises, you see your J Rons, you see your Charles, you see your Kenny's, then Boo, where I eventually start seeing Boo with the first King of Circle, because I never been in the King of Circle.
Right.
I remember when they first started. Never. Cowherd got involved, and they gave him that title because he earned it. You know, his style was popular, and it was different at the time. When you talk about the evolution of styles.
Before we go there, because I don't want to
Okay.
Yeah, I want to stay in stages, right? I want to stay in stages. I don't want to go off because
Okay.
I don't want to jump all over.
We asking those questions, but I wanted to speak back on so how was the transition for you when you made your own group with Final Chapter? How did that come about?
Okay. What happened was Total Impact, Marlon went away. I guess he had to go to service. I got involved with a group earlier with Duro from Chaos, and it was called Too Fatal. And it was composed of a variety of dancers from Total Impact.
Right.
Okay. Then when that group faded out, we moved along, and I moved along with Triple Fade. And that was like in 2000, like early 2000 sometime. I want to say 2000 to be exact, because I was a sophomore in high school at the time. So I got involved with me and Kenlo and a couple other members from the Too Fatal group got involved with Triple Phase.
Right.
Triple Phase was already formed. Roy and them and Van and them, they already was doing their thing. And we all knew each other. So we was like, hey, why not get with our own? Mm-hmm. And, I stuck around them for a while. And at the time, I met Harlow. And me and Harlow was rivals before we became partners.
Really?
Skating ring. Yeah. We went there with each other. I don't know if the battle got personal. I don't know how it is, because I guess he was jealous of me because I look better than him. Nah, I'm messing with you. I had hair and everything, so I had a little curl and had baby face and hair and everything. So they was like, oh, there is, not to be arrogant, but now I'm bald. I'm like a monk now. Shit. But it's like me and Harlow was rivals. And eventually I took him under my wing. I took him aboard with me. I grasped to him. I saw something in him, and I want to see him get better. So we go along, get with Triple Phase. Harlow did temporarily too as well. Mm-hmm. And some things didn't work out with the group regarding, how it is with certain, everybody has didn't experience differences within a group, right, regarding what you plan. So we left the group. Me and Harlow said, forget this, man. We're going to start our own clique. So we started our battle clique. We was like, we ain't with pop and rolling no more anyway, you know, because by then we done outgrew all that. So it's like we started getting cats that people didn't know of, like cats like Dontrell. Dontrell was from Chaos originally. We started getting cats like Maine. Maine was from Robbins. He wasn't really known to be a dancer, but he eventually converted over. Yeah, so you start seeing different faces converting over to dancing with Chapter. And we were like, I was like, man, we Final Chapter. You know, we gonna call it Final Chapter. So me and Harlow ran Final Chapter as a partnership. Wasn't no leadership. It was me and him. We the founders. You know, and it was like a revolving door with Final Chapter. It was not like, you know, you'll see people that you normally would see. Like, who is this guy? He be working. You know, you never knew where he came from. So that's how we formulated Final Chapter. Final Chapter being in and out. So it's like we never been one of those type of. We was a battle clique. We never been like a group where we were like organized to the point like where we were known for performances. No, our reputation stems from going to parties and battling everybody. Period. Yeah. Didn't matter who it was.
I just remember y'all two, you and quick story. When I first met you, BeBe, it was at Markham Fieldhouse. Yeah. It was you and AG, right? Both of y'all had big afros. Yeah, both of y'all whole outfit. Y'all both had big afros, and both of y'all had on some white Air Force Ones, bro. And y'all was like the littlest ones out of everybody. The littlest ones. And me and my bro Steve, we walking. I'm looking up, we already knew AG. So, but I didn't know who you was. And like you dancing, I'm like, dude, cold. That dude with the fro and the Air Force Ones. Oh,
the dude with the fro.
Oh, crying had afros.
Yeah.
I never even saw BeBe with a fro. That's the reason I'm laughing, because I can't even picture it.
Bro, bro, they had afros, bro.
Hey, bro.
Man, it's crazy to hear that. I got me and BeBe the first day I met BeBe. I got it on tape, and it's probably like the most. Everybody know I got tons of footage, but the day I met you, I think that's like the most valuable footage that I got in my library. I think that's the most. Yeah. I don't think no other clip is valuable than that, because if you look at the video, the whole conversation was through footwork, no talking. Because I didn't even know you. You literally saw us footworking outside. One of my members, Malcolm, he was auditioning to get in the crew at the time. And I guess you must have just saw some people footworking and you hopped out the car. But we used to people hopping out just watching on the sidelines. So we thought you were just a bystander wanting to watch. But when you start footworking, I'm like, who the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? But all these years, I heard of a dude named BeBe, and I already knew of Final Chapter because I used to always see Harlem. You know what I'm saying? So I was familiar with Final Chapter movements, but the characteristic that I always heard was, man, the dude with these amazing spins. So when you walked up, you didn't even say hello. You didn't say nothing. You were just footworking. So I'm sizing you up because at the time my members is trying out this dude, but you jumped in. So I'm sizing you up like, okay, he old school. Then you do another round, and I'm like, it looked like Final Chapter. But then I'm like, okay, where them spins at? And then you start doing spins. I'm like, oh, this is the dude. This must be him. Yeah, like I got that all on tape.
Man,
like,
y'all crazy, bro.
Bro, I'm gonna have to post it, bro.
I kid you not. You was the first person, BeBe, the first footworker that I've seen that actually made moves up at a party. Like I'm talking about while you battling though. Like I'm talking moves up. I'm like, what is that? But you
like you at practice.
Like I'm like, dude, this is like effortless, like for him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you really like going. But then that's what kind of sparked my head. Like, man, they got some killers in the south suburbs. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And this was before I even met Charles. This is Snoop from HOC.
Okay.
Snoop from HOC is who introduced me and my bro Steve to the south suburbs on the footwork side. And I knew, it was like a whole nother world at Markham Fieldhouse, bro, for me. It was a whole nother world, bro. I'm like, these guys, they footwork, bro. That's when I started seeing big moves and breakdowns and like you on Harlem spinning like crazy. I'm like, this is something else, bro. Like real. Like, so what? Hey, can you give me a legendary battle from you? Who was like one of the battles that one of the guys that you battled that was kind of tough? You was like, man, dude.
I'm gonna tell y'all who it was. I'm gonna tell y'all who it was, hands down. It was Q and Jason. Because it was, and notice I said Jason. A lot of people don't talk about Jason either.
Right.
I mean, once I started to get developed at the time, that's before I met AG. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something too, boo. To reiterate off what you just said. And J Rod, I look, y'all got me in the time. Like I told y'all, this video, it will have to be a part 2, 3. So it's like, okay, boo, what you just said, to piggyback off your question.
Right.
Q and Jason, man. Q and Jason. Me and Kilo had plenty problem, but Kilo was keeping up with them all. Kilo will take them out. The only people I can see that could really take them out easily, with ease, relative ease, was Kilo Key and Little Rob from the Firm and Reno from the Firm. And I seen Carlos. Let me not dismiss Carlos. Carlos, and them. So, I mean, Henry was cold too. So, with that being said and done, those guys was rough. It was a rough period for us over time. It took some time before I was able to make progress to be able to beat those guys. Like, it took me to get with also who I found out my teacher that was one of their teachers, which was Darnell Coleman, BeBe. So he started brushing me up.
Bro, BeBe was so cold, bro. God rest his dead, man. God rest his dead, man.
Rest in peace. Hey, one of my teachers.
Bro, see, a teacher of many. A teacher of many. So he was a teacher of many. So, like, boo, to reiterate off what you said, when I first saw you, let me tell you what amazed me about you. What amazed me about you was the way you hit your bang, the impact with your bang. It was just like you always, I'm like, just the bangs alone, he's smoking. J-Ron, when I met, back to that moment, I saw y'all because I was riding through Harvey. I was like 20. I was riding through Harvey. Y'all was out. And I'm looking at these group of guys and I'm like, what's going on? But I heard about Havoc through Harlow because he used to have dealings with y'all. And I knew he used to go over. But I stayed in the city at the time then. But Harlow used to go back and forth from my crib to over there where y'all practice and do y'all thing. So he was like, B, you need to come through. And I'm like, man, look, I got this going on. But I happened to ride through Harvey and y'all had something going on. And I see y'all and I'm like, man, what they doing out here? So I see works and I hear tracks. First, I thought it was a gang meet. So I'm like, oh, hold on, let me be cool. Because, they look like a mob. No, Havoc was like a mob. You know what I'm saying? Havoc was some killers. They were some street. Excuse my language. I don't want to use it. They were some gangs.
Yeah, ain't no sense of this.
No filters over here.
Okay,
Havoc was. Trust me, yeah.
Some thugs and Havoc. Y'all had some thugs. Y'all was some thugs. And J-Ron ain't make it no better. I believe you had braids back then, so it didn't make it no better. J-Ron was a thug. I don't care what nobody say. Hey, y'all, J-Ron is a solid thug. Hey, Boo is a killer though. No, Boo be trying to be reserved, but Boo become a goon when all that niggas, I mean, excuse my language, when all that foolery gets kicked off. I seen Boo get Southside. I seen Boo get Southside on y'all real quick. So let me clear that up. I seen that. I was like, oh, okay. Y'all know he be working out now. So he been working out. He been swole. He been swole since the youth.
Hey, I ain't talking to nobody. I love everybody, man.
Right.
I love. Hey, you hear that Goonie
Funny as
statement?
hell.
Hey, you hear that Goonie statement, J. Rod? I love everybody. That's something a killer would say. I love everybody.
Oh my God. Yeah, you pulled up on us in the street, man. I'm happy you hopped out though. I'm really happy you hopped out, man. Seriously, man. Cause like you said, you was gone from a little minute on the scene as far as in the burbs. So it gave not even me an opportunity to finally meet you and that day, but also for my other members to get a chance to meet you and everything like that. Like that was because once again, it wasn't no internet and Facebook. So it wasn't like I could just look you up and be like, oh, let me find this dude. Everybody call BeBe. You know what I'm saying? Word, if you cold, word travel by mouth.
Man,
you gotta go on an adventure and find the person.
Well,
but
right,
you didn't know parties at the time. So it's like I couldn't even be like, oh, BeBe, he at the 111, let me go to this part. Cause you know, by that time, groups was fading away and you will just randomly bump into somebody. You ain't even know when or where. So it was hard.
But I'm gonna tell you, after we left, based upon that, J-Ron, I'm gonna tell you, because we were stuck in the suburbs. Remember, a lot of suburban dancers didn't really go out to the city like that.
right. And vice
So
versa.
this is where final chapter come in at. We started venturing out because I moved back out there with my mother because I wasn't staying with her. So we stayed in the hundreds. I stayed over in London Town. If you anybody familiar with London Town, East 100 place off Cottage Grove, over there in the hundreds,
Right.
in London Town. I stayed over there. So they had the House of Kicks still around. And around this time, me and Carlo was like going to places like the Paul Hall, the Union Hall,
Right.
We were going around seeing different city groups. And mind you, let me not dismiss this. My mother used to coach the girls at, I believe what was that high school? South Shore?
South Shore High School.
Yeah, South Shore High School. That's the first time I ran into the group Total Darkness. That's the first time I ran into Total Darkness. And I still had a fro and all that. So I'm like, okay, she up there coaching the girls, and I go upstairs.
You better put your shoes back on.
And I see these guys dancing. They were practicing Total Darkness. So I just started battling. I was like, okay, let me show them what I'm working with. And we got through working with each other that day, but I never came back. And they was like, what group you in? I'm like, at the time I was claiming Final Chapter,
Mm-hmm.
So we were battling city groups. That's where we started to learn about groups like Gutter Thugs, The Tunnel,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's when we started to see Eli more instead of just coming every now and then. And mind you, I can I throw this out here, fellas?
Yeah, go ahead.
It was a girl back in the day named Skittles. She used to ball up all the dudes, by the way. Let me make that announcement for Skittles. Wherever Skittles is.
I heard about Skittles.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. J-Rod, Skittles.
I'm about for that. Definitely.
Skittles. Let me not forget Mink, Kodak, and them either. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I don't try to exclude anybody, but it might be hard for me to recall because I know y'all got such amount of time and I don't want to rush everything.
It's a lot of people too. It's a lot of people in the Chicago footwear culture. So I get it.
Yeah.
You get it, boo. You get it. And it's some unknowns. It's some unknowns from the city though. It's a whole heap of unknowns from the city, from Chicago itself, that people, even during our time, that people don't know.
Right.
Because left the block, they was just cold on the block if you was in their hood.
Right.
So you probably would have never even saw them in the party, but they was teaching the people that was going to the parties though.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of those type of people. I could vouch for that. That you ain't even never get a chance to see some people teachers because they ain't never leave the block.
They ain't never leave the block. Yep, they ain't never leave the block. And you don't got no footage to even show it for them to, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause like you said, YouTube and Facebook and social media wasn't around. So if you didn't have it back then, if you didn't have a name, you wasn't nothing. If your name didn't ring and everybody else's is, like you was a nobody in the Chicago footwork culture. Like you was a nobody if your name wasn't ring. You know
You're right.
So BeBe,
Yes, sir.
King of the Circle, right? Because you cold. You was cold, bro. And still is cold. You know what I'm saying? When you step out, you be stepping out little events, bro. You still got it, bro. Still got it. But how was it with the King of the Circle, like the first King of the Circle? You know what I'm saying? With you not battling or participating in the King of the Circle, you know, how was it going for you?
Right.
Well, let me tell y'all why we on board about the King of the Circle. I never really had an interest towards the whole king thing. So it was like with me, it was plenty of kings of the circle. I'm thinking back years ago when people that died. I'm thinking about the youth, because we were still youthful, and I'm thinking about people that didn't die. You know, like we had king of the circle every day. So this is like a regular party to me. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't interested in getting involved in trying to get the be known as the because I started off as an underdog. I was getting woo-wop. You know, I had to go against the best of the best, you know. So I was getting flip-flop. So I had no choice. I'm like, I'm not about to be a spectator like most guys on the side who like to, you know, sit there and be like, okay, well, yeah, I'm a dog. I never told y'all, look, I humbly appreciate it. I never said that I was great or anything. I give all praise to God for whatever he's blessed me with, whatever natural given talent. And I like to thank y'all because y'all teaching me a lot now. Now I'm learning from my students. I'm learning from y'all, like how things changed and evolved with technology. And y'all did the most major thing that nobody could take away, period, which was introduce footwork to the world. So I'm glad that it was y'all. And I want to give y'all a round of applause. Tudo, I salute y'all. No cap.
Oh, salute, man. Salute.
Yeah, thanks, T.
All y'all, YouTube, all y'all, even the ones that contributed. Kendall, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I haven't forgot about anybody, even those on the other side. You know, we lost so much as a culture, like, and now we have a new generation here. So it's of my interest and gratitude, and I truly appreciate y'all allowing me to have a voice on this platform. Like I said, man, it's just ask away, man. Whatever y'all want to know, it's all about y'all, man. It ain't all. I'm a part of this, but it's about y'all. What y'all want to know, man? Just
hey, where did the name BeBe come from?
Mm-hmm.
The name good question, ain't it, J. Ryan? BeBe stands for blue balls. No, I'm messing with y'all. No, I'm still like little humor there. I'm still like little humor. No.
That's my teacher.
No. I mean, this the show. Hey, J. Ryan told me. J. Ryan said, "Hey, bro, keep it raw on the show."
Yeah. I needed that laugh, man.
No, seriously.
Oh my God.
Seriously, BeBe came from I was born backwards, a cesarean baby. I wasn't born natural, so I came out the womb pretty much fighting. I had an unnatural birth. And my life always been backwards. My mama be like, boy, you doing everything backwards. You know, you do the opposite. When you supposed to do this, why you know? So that's where that name stemmed from with BeBe. If anybody want to know, you know, it stemmed from how I came into the world being through an unnatural birth. So everybody just BeBe. That was my nickname. like really, my birth nickname, BeBe. So everybody, you know, called me BeBe, BeBe. And I didn't want to be called nothing less or nothing more, you know, because that's who I am, you know.
Man, that
So
name,
I also want to piggyback on that too, because footworking wise, you was like one of the first people that I got a chance to meet that even put the idea in my head to reverse a combo, like actually reverse everything. Like, hey, how that look backwards? Like, wait, what you mean backwards? Like, reverse every movement. Like, are you serious? Like, my brain about to malfunction. Like, but to this day, I can do it with no problem now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Back then it was like, what? So you like knock down that wall of creativity, and like it's just no boundaries no more. So it's just cool that you just always had that. You could see things straight, and then you also could see things backwards. Like that was just a cool trait, or I should say superpower that you had.
Bro, he did, man. He used to create while he was battling, bro.
Yeah, that Boo was watching. Hey, Boo was there. Hey,
that was crazy.
Hey, but what was interesting when y'all say that, what was interesting is I can recall all the time when I met Charles, that I was at the skating rink, right? Listen to me, fellas. And I was at the skating rink, and you know how the skating rink is. Everybody comes to the skating rink, do they dance, do what they do with their crew. And I was in a battle. I forgot who I was battling, but I was battling somebody. And I looked over to, I must have looked over to my right, and here it is. I see Charles, Kenny, you know what I'm saying? And I believe maybe even Chemo, because I remember Chemo being around too at some point.
Right.
Chemo, you know, I used to spend a great, because your cousin Solo used to take me home, so I was around Solo too. And I used to get ideas from Solo, because you know he used to be a dancer before he was a DJ, before he transferred. So, you know, I used to learn from everybody around me, everybody. And man, it's like, I don't want to get lost. Y'all took me to a place. Yeah, back with Charles. Charles was standing there looking, and then he was dating my cousin at the time. Her name was Michelle. He was dating her, and her brother was actually an ex-Wolfpack dancer, my cousin. His name is David Mack. They call him New, but he got into gangbang. So hey, that's another story. But he, you know, he was Wolfpack. Me, I was Total Impact. You know, but at the same time, it was like Charles used to come over to the house, and I couldn't recall. He brought somebody else with him, and I think that was you, J. Ron. And y'all was in my living room, and I guess that's where I broke. That's right. That's when I broke down that whole reverse theory.
You said it was Jonathan Bowles.
No, yeah, that was Jonathan Bowles. Yeah.
That was Jonathan Bowles? Oh, okay. I thought it was J-Ron. I thought it was J-Ron.
He was like Michael Plex with braids. Jonathan Bowles.
Yeah, I thought it was you the whole time.
No, Jonathan Bowles was cool.
I thought it was J-Ron. I thought it was J-Ron. I thought it was J-Ron the whole time. So Jonathan. Okay, let me not deceive. It was so many people. It's so many. So many. Yeah, he was serious too. Hey.
Wait, so you broke something when he came over?
Yeah, they both came over. They were like, hey man, could you show us something? And I was like, okay. I put on the track. You know, back then we had cassette tapes. I put it in the radio at my auntie house in the living room. And I started showing them basics, like basic formation, hold your form up, lift your leg, do your erks, your skates, your dribbles, a variety of basic combinations, just to give them a kickstart. And that's how it started. But Charles used to come over like every now so and so. So he still used to come around.
He was a stalker, G.
Hey, come on, bro.
That was a stalker. Hey, that's why.
Yeah,
Hey,
like,
love my bro to death, bro. That's why he is how he is, bro. Because
yes,
he ain't want to take no for no answer, bro. He was there. He gonna be at your
yes,
house, boy.
yes,
He
You
said,
gonna wake.
yes.
Hey, you would have woke up in the morning, bro. He would have been right there at your door, bro. Like,
Hey, bro. Hey, bro, you would have been still. Hey, boo, you would have still been in your drawers,
bro,
and you
I
would
know,
have came
bro.
up, and
Hey,
you
he
ain't
used
no
to live with me.
edge.
He used to live with me, bro. I kid you not. Hey, he used to everything I did, bro. He wanted to do it, bro. I didn't care what it was, bro. It was if I slept on the right side of the bed, bro. Guess what? He wanted to sleep on the right side of the bed. But bro, he was gonna take it. But bro, that's what gave him that drive, though. G,
that's
like
that dedication
Yeah.
to
that was
greatness,
that
though.
drive,
Yeah.
bro. He wanted
Dedication
it.
to greatness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wanted it.
But you know what? What I honor so much about y'all, let me say y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't like to single out anybody. What I honor and admire so much about y'all, you know, is the sense of humility that y'all display. You know, y'all really put in y'all work, man. And I can imagine how it is traveling to another part of the world, you know, and have to adjust to their culture, you know? And of course, you're gonna get a lot of slack with it, you know what I'm saying? It's like a love-hate situation. You go
Right.
get some slack, but that's what comes with success and progress in what you do. You know, you expect that. You know, but despite the negative, what I admire about you, Boo, is with the fitness, how you innovated the game with fitness. And J Ron, I admire you just your discipline in regards to not picking up bad habits. Cause see, y'all, I used to didn't smoke nor drink during those times that y'all recall. There was no drinking, there was no smoking a cigarette. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But what I learned over time is I learned to embrace the weakness because if I never recognized the weaknesses that I had and possessed, then I wouldn't have been able to realize where my strengths were.
Right.
Facts.
So I thank God for weaknesses. You know, find comfort in your weaknesses because really your weaknesses are your strengths.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. That's
So
true.
BB
I
the
appreciate.
philosopher.
That's why he was my
Oh
dude.
man,
Philosopher.
how you call me
BB.
philosopher?
See where I get it from.
Hey, well, you know, Charles said I was a monk. I was like a monk. That's because I'm bald and I ain't got no hair, man.
A
You
monk.
gonna call me a monk?
You know, he watch the Kung Fu movies. Hey,
Yeah, J. Rod.
but that's wisdom, though, man. That's wisdom, right there. You know,
Yeah,
so we all greatly respect you and everything you taught us. And like you said earlier at the beginning,
yeah,
you learning from us right now. And as a teacher, you always a student, and it always go full circle. When you teach your students, you still learning. They teaching you right back. So,
Yep.
you know, this
hey,
definitely been just a blessing, even having you on. You know, what I'm saying, on this show. And I also wanted to also state too, for those that's watching on the Facebook and on here, um, when it comes to like Chicago Footwork Foundation, I know during your time frame, you saw a lot of creativity and things like that. What was some of the popular foundation that you were doing? You know, around your time.
Good question.
that's a good question. What was the most popular foundation around the time that I was doing? Around that time, well, you know what? Around that time, that's when we started to formulate a lot of heel toe movements.
Okay.
Uh, me and Harlow said we're gonna take the original, you know, from what we learned from those that came before us, and we're gonna do things different. Now we're gonna start doing weird, like Boo said, man, you always making up something in the middle of a battle. So I'm like, hey man, let's incorporate this into our style, the breaks, you know, the ticks, because it's prevalent that I realized that I start to see also, and let me not disregard my man Cowherd. He was doing some unique moves too at the time. But we decided to make our own. We said we're gonna call them breaks, and we're gonna identify our group by utilizing the heel toe movements more so, because that was not so popular. Dancers used to do it prematurely, but we said, okay, because you look at it, a lot of footworkers used to do heel toe, but they didn't make it, they didn't emphasize it, they didn't stay consistent with it.
Yep.
Whereas you could develop a whole
style.
style out of it.
Right.
Exactly. So that's where we started. That's where we started coming in with the spins. Everybody used to spin back then, but more so it was like with spins was spins. Skates, okay, we gonna keep the skates alive. It was just a lot of traditional moves that was starting to like fade out because a lot of people started to get more stiffer. I started to see more dancers get stiffer, whereas back then dancers were more loose, more fluid.
Right.
But definitely in the south suburbs, they were definitely more fluid. Even in the city, they were more fluid. They were still kind of stiff, but they were more fluid with their stiffness. You know what I'm saying? Whereas in the south suburbs, everybody started to follow like the style of Wolfpack. It was dominant. Ant Brown and Eli and them. And we were the rivals. So, I mean, if we were good and people consider us great, then they have to be good and great as well. Because these are the people that we were proving ourselves to. Right. These are the people we took our L's to and then we took our W's with, So you got to realize your competitors are what makes you great. We were actually labbing together. We didn't realize it over time. We were making each other better. Because there was a lot of people that used to sit back, and I don't want to bust anybody's bubble, but I'm just going to speak in a general sense. When you hear dancers say, oh yeah, I was a dog. That's why you never hear me say, oh, I was a dog and all that. Hey, dog, I remember when we took L's, some of y'all used to just be on the sideline looking, but I never seen y'all really.
Say it again. Say it again, bro. Say it again, bro. Because I used to see a lot of them just, riding the coattail instead of riding their own group, sitting on the side being a groupie. And how could you be a legend if you're a groupie? Facts.
You gotta challenge your competitors. You gotta show them that, hey, we're not afraid of y'all. Because we was the underdogs. These Wolfpack was, man, they had the best gear. We had regular gear. We was like Bow Wow. Y'all ever seen Roll Bounce? Look at the story, the movie Roll Bounce. That was us. We was Roll Bounce with Bow Wow now, and Sweetness was cute. Sweetness, that was them. Girls falling out, babies falling out. You know what I'm saying? So it was like a popular thing.
That's true.
Let me keep it around. Yeah, you fall down, get back up again. When they pull this boy draws down, you know what I'm saying? Everybody laughing at him. You fall in and do a spin, everybody laughing at you. You get burnt. Ooh, everybody talking about it at school because you go to school with everybody. The girl that you like, they embarrassed you in front of her. You know what I'm saying? Now she don't even like you no more because she saw you lose a battle against somebody popular who's skillful. So they all on their jock. You know how it goes. That's how it was for us. So that's why you see so much passion in us. That's what made us more fierce. That's why a lot of people thought that I had something personally against my competitors. I really don't. Now, today, I challenge myself.
Right.
But then it was challenging those dancers. So we always went against the top dancers. We want to cut their head off because, hey, man, we tired of these pack. No, if they the wolf pack, we the hunters. We the hunter. You know what I mean?
You the hunters.
And much respect to them because them guys was cold. Yeah, they had their time and everything. Let's give it to them, to those. Y'all had a nice run. But at some point, events started to turn around. We see the evidence of it today. And of course, you got to give it up, man. I mean, they could have had a lot of potential in their time. Then, had they had the right influences to have people like you all that come from our lineage that did what y'all did. I mean, they could have did it. They had the opportunity. They had the talent.
They let it die, bro. That was the thing. They let it die. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was back then, it was an age requirement. it was like you got to a certain age, it was like it was over with. Like I don't even want to footwork no more. That's old. When they saw us dancing, oh, I used to do that. That's old. You know what I'm saying? And we, you know, we pretty much took it and was like, we ain't about to stop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is something that we love. Like for real? Like we've been doing this all our life. Like, why would we stop? You know what I'm saying? So like, we kept it going or whatever, but we still had OGs that was like, hey, no, y'all do y'all thing, y'all keep it going. You know what I'm saying? And then we kind of what we did was it was like a reverse. We got them to get back out there. Like, you know what I'm saying? We see what y'all doing. Man, hey, when the next event? Then you start seeing OGs coming to the event and they going crazy. You know what I'm saying? We like, oh my God, like you still got it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it was, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like things happen for a reason. You know what I'm saying? The things in the process of life happen for a reason. You know what I mean? So what y'all did was y'all taught J. Ron and Charles, you know what I'm saying, and other individuals that was in the south suburbs, you know what I'm saying, under that generation. They, you know what I'm saying, pretty much gave y'all the favor back by teaching that, taking it overseas. It was like, you know what? Hey, and still telling people over there, hey, BeBe, these people taught me how, you know what I'm saying, and still having y'all name in the conversation, you know what I'm saying? So therefore that gave y'all fuel to keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? You know, so I respect y'all for even, you know what I'm saying, still, especially when I saw you at Beat Down Party, like going nuts. I'm like, come on, bro. Like,
and I was about to say, when at the creation reunion, you know what I'm saying? Like when y'all even came out, you know what I'm saying, to that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
To have you, Harlem, Cowherd, Roll, like all our damn near basically our teachers. Because me and Charles got the same teachers. So basically our teachers coming to the creation reunion. But when y'all got there, you saw people from Japan, people from around the world coming up to y'all because they already knew of y'all, but y'all didn't even know. Y'all didn't even know them yet, but they knew directly who y'all was. You know what I'm saying? So I know the feeling of, you know what I'm saying, like, and we was just talking about this the other day too, BeBe, like that feeling of you got somebody that's from across the globe giving you respect and also cherishing your talent and just giving you a thank you, where you may have people that stay down the block from you that never acknowledged you, you know what I'm saying, or never supported you, but yet the world is supporting you. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when we were footworking, no, I would just, you know, we already had the conversation. Like sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you had people in your own neighborhood that'll bash you, you know what I'm saying, for what you was trying to do. Oh, you still footwork, right? But yeah, you got people around the world that support you. That's way bigger than a block. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're right, J. Ron. You and Boo are definitely right. You know, what I admire so much about them is because that's our lineage, all of us. We all family on here.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? When I look at y'all, there's no big eyes, little U's. You understand what I'm saying? It's like I can learn from anybody. I call it the rebirth. You know, that's the stage I'm in, the rebirth. The rebirth is like going back into an embryo and stepping out and being born again, learning all over. Like a person could be so far ahead of their time that you have to go back. Something can happen to you and you have to go back to recall on what actually happened because you didn't see it the first time when it happened and it changed you, you know. But when you fall, get back up. You know what I'm saying? Just get back up. You know, you make mistakes. You know, I didn't do everything all right. I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? I've said some things that I wasn't proud of. You know, I didn't have the right perspective at certain times, you know, but I learned from that. And I was grateful to recognize that, like, you know what? Nah, man, you got to get it right. Like, it was times, Boo, where you used to talk to me about opening your mind. You know, at the time, I still had that stuck in the box mentality because I never stepped outside the states. You know, I never left the states. you know, y'all know what I mean when I say these
Right,
statements. So you see a different world. That's why I understood more about y'all, why y'all see things from a universal perspective, opposed to having a one-track mind. It shows. It shows in everything y'all do. It shows with this show right now. Who's doing this? You know what I'm saying? Who has created a footwork platform where you could hear different interviews, the size of the story? This is history within itself. His story, but this is a story of many stories. Like I said, it's an honor, and allow me to be able to have a voice. I hope that this is not the end in regards to, you know, how we put things, future plans together, because, you know, I wanted to put it out there. If anybody do film, there needs to be a organized movie relating to, it don't matter who it is, but just the footwork culture itself, the realities of what a person go through every day.
Right.
You know, a real movie, like I'm talking like Hype Williams, like, you know what I mean? But even if it start off low budget, but somebody needs to compose a movie regarding the culture. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to film.
Yeah, this is a real crazy,
Yeah.
dope movie. It's full of all action, fights,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Fight,
love story, like you find it.
issues, financial issues.
Boy. Hey, people got some for real. People got some stories, dog. That's like one of the reasons why we created, you know what I'm saying, this platform, because we know other people from all around the world. They hear about the name, they hear about like the good things, you know what I'm saying, that you know we might tell them. But we want them to actually hear everything. You know what I'm saying? Like we want you know, why people grind so hard, you know what I'm saying, and why they take Chicago footwork, you know, just the name in itself, and they take it so seriously. You know what I'm saying? Because like this is a lot of people's babies at the end of the day. Like, you know what I'm saying? This got you out of a lot of trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like where you could have went left, you know what I'm saying? Instead of going left, you went right. You know what I'm saying? You know, you could have been one of the people that was in the car, you know, one of your mans got shot. You know what I'm saying? Or you could have been on the corner selling drugs, you know what I'm saying? But you went the other way. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you know what? I got dance practice today. You know what I'm saying? Well, I got a dance battle. Hey, it's a party tonight. I'm about to go in battle. You know what I'm saying? And one of your family members or your friends, they might not even made it. You know what I'm saying? You like, man, I know there's been plenty of times, like even Charles can say, you know what I'm saying, vouch. There's plenty of times both of us probably thought something. We had a party and we thought, bro, it's time to go.
Yeah.
Like it's time to go, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got that thing too? Oh yeah, okay, cool, bro. We out of here. You know what I'm saying? And then later on, or the next day, man, such and such just got beat up. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I feel like we was put here, bro, for, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was our purpose. You know what I'm saying? This is our purpose to, you know what I mean, share with the world, share our God-given talent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even though, like, I know for you, I feel like you are, you know what I'm saying? Like, you are legendary to other individuals. Even if you haven't taught them, like you ain't even have to teach them. The person that you taught is teaching, so that makes you legendary. You see what I'm saying? That makes you legendary.
Talk, they watch it. You know,
exactly.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So you know what I mean? Like I appreciate you just for even being you, BeBe. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? Every time I see you, got a smile on your face. You like. Even when you battling, you got to smile the whole time. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, this dude with the pencil in your ear. With the pencil in your ear.
Yeah, boy. Hey, boo, it's real. Hey, it's real because it's like, to piggyback off what you said, who would have known that BeBe, I'm not proud of it. And I don't feel that people, by the way, I'm glad that AG coming home. And many more others who may be in certain situations right now. You know, whoever would have known that BeBe, and it was shameful to know that your mother had to get you out of Cook County Correctional, you know? Who would have known that? Who would have known that at one point BeBe had a bad pill addiction? You know what I'm saying? Who would have known at one point that BeBe used to deal with women in a way, not like how normal people would deal with their women. You know what I'm saying? Who would have knew that BeBe used to sell this? I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm not incriminating. This is over. This is over. I made a transition. I'm strictly square. Strictly square.
It's growth.
Huh?
This growth. This all about growth.
Yeah, yeah. But there was always another. But there was always another side to me. There was always another side.
I
Go
said,
ahead.
yeah, you was back then. You was selling chews and Tootsie Rolls and stuff like that. We good. We was selling,
Okay.
yeah, we selling-
Okay. But that came during the early. That came during. Tell you the truth. That change came when I moved back to Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Because in the burbs, life was different. Like it was gang banging. It was a lot. But you know, when you in Chicago, you gotta adapt and overcome. Like you said, boo. Your coldest dancer is on the block.
on the block.
And everything going on the block. So you got to find so many outlets. That's why I say with people from Chicago, you got to find so many outlets. And I stayed in the project. I stayed at South Commons on 26th in Indiana in 1997. Okay,
Yeah,
when
I
the
was
Terrell homes was still
Yeah.
up. You know, so when you talk about that, it's like, you know, man, I just thank God. You know what I mean? Who would have known? Who? It's so much I would like to share, and I would hope that I keep it in all decency. But I'm sure on this platform I can keep it raw. Y'all say so.
Yeah,
To speak.
yeah.
Oh yeah, raw
Is
and
the world
authentic.
ready for that? Is
Raw
the
and
world ready
authentic.
for that? Is the
Yep.
world ready? Is the world ready to hear that in the year of 2014 that BeBe accidentally was involved in a murder, and by the blessings of God got out, and they realized it was a freak accident, you know, and he had post-traumatic stress. So when they realized what happened to him, because it was a certain stage where y'all saw me, J. Ron, and y'all noticed the difference. Like he's not the same like how he used to be. He's under some things. You know, we all go through it. You go through it, J. Ron. I've seen it too with you.
Absolutely.
That dealing with that pain and that struggle. And J. Ron, hold on. This is what I love about J. Ron so much, that he showed me how thorough he is. Now, y'all know when I say thorough. J. Ron, you remember you came to my crib when I stayed on 122nd and Wallace. You
Yep.
came off the bus. J. Ron came off the bus. I had a car. I was like, man, I could have picked him up. J. Ron wasn't worried about nothing. J. Ron got right off the bus, met up with me right on Halsted. You know what I'm saying? And came to my crib, and he started working with me because I think I lost that battle against Dre at the BG's. You know, and my name was on the line. They, oh, the old nigga weak and all that. That's King Charles teacher, all that. He weak. You know, he fell off. He ain't all that. You know how they is, the new generation. So
Years and years later, just coming back on the scene just to say hey and dance. Like,
Right.
y'all talking
Yeah.
like he dance every day or something. Like, this man ain't danced in years. And
Yeah.
y'all celebrate.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
but I
like,
definitely
bro,
can't keep it
I
up.
smoked. Look, I was smoking hella weed. All I did was drink. You know what I'm saying? All I did was hustle. It was about survival at that time. You know, I got out of college, man. I was a 2-year college graduate at Olive Harvey. I'm proud of that. Got my little 2 years. But that don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? You learn that school of the hard knocks to teach you something different, or just happen to make y'all way. That's why I admire y'all so much, because y'all didn't rely just on a job. Y'all created jobs. You guys are Black entrepreneurs, and I'm inspired by that. You know, that's where the work comes in. So, you know, it's more than just the moves. People think it's just the moves. No, this is a way of life. Footwork is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's
And let's go. We can let's go into these questions, man, because I know people are like eager to ask questions, especially my sis Kelly. Kelly be always like, her and Mickey be like the first ones is like raising hands.
from around the world.
That's
Hold on, did I even see her?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so any questions? Who want to ask the first questions for BeBe? Anybody? Because I can go to my people now. I'm trying to give everybody else a chance now.
hey, whatever they want to know, man. You know.
Cross, you got a question, or you want to wait?
Somebody said
Oh,
how
Charles said, "How is Michelle?"
How is Michelle?
Hey Charles, hey, she's good, man. You need to check her out, man. You know they had that was his little boo. You know what I'm saying? It's
Hey,
all good, man.
On here.
Kelly, you got a question?
I saw Mickey raise her hand.
Yeah, Mickey
Yeah,
raised
we'll
her
go to Mickey next.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. So thank you so much. This was extremely informative and very inspiring. I just appreciate it so much listening to all of this. I have a lot of questions about the history, but I think I'm more interested in like, what's your drive? Like, what through all of this time with your art and with footwork and the way that you were in Chicago, like what was the thing that really pushed you?
Inspired me.
Yeah, yeah.
At the time, to answer your question, at the time, remember, like I said, we had a lot. It was very competitive. Footwork was very competitive. So to me, it was just to become better. And plus, I just had a passion for dance. You know what I'm saying? I just love to dance. It was recreational. You know how some people would go, go to play football or go to football practice? Well, we go footwork. You know what I'm saying? Is somebody play basketball or half the time when most of my friends were playing on a video game, I'm sitting up here kicking my legs, man, trying to think of the next move or technique for when I get ready for the next battle or whatever, wherever it's a footwork event going on at the time. So, I mean, to me, it's always been in my blood because my mother was a house dancer. Actually, a lot of people don't know that. My mother was into house. My father was into breakdance.
Wow.
So yeah. So
both worlds.
Yeah. So it was like it was natural, and then coming up as an 80s baby, you see Michael Jackson, you got your MC Hammers, you got so that it always stuck with me. It took my mind off a lot. It made me feel good. It kept me in shape. That's where I guess what Boo Dilla innovated and made it fitness. Footwork is beneficial to you. It relieves your stresses. You know what I mean? You feel better. It elevates you spiritually too. Today it could elevate you spiritually because you could connect with different individuals on a deeper level prior to just dancing itself, mind, body, and spirit. So with that being said and done, I hope that answers her question.
Kelly,
Any more?
Was it another part or that?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Mickey, son.
Among BeBe. Wax on, wax off. Yeah.
Mickey, son.
Look at J-Ron. J-Ron over here cracking, boy.
That's my teacher.
Hi, BeBe.
Hey, you?
Yeah.
And
Hey,
thank you for
going-
and like Boo said, like Charles told me about BeBe is his teacher, and also when I went to Chicago 2 years ago, and I trained with Jelon at his studio, and he introduced me about you, and you came at Jelon's studio, and like we were training and watching video 5 hours together, and DJ Raw too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like my super good memories, and I always told my student too, and I also I want to go to Chicago as soon as possible, and I want to run more, and yeah. So, and I have a question. So how do you feel about Chicago footwork is spread outside of Chicago and like outside of Chicago people doing Chicago footwork?
I'm gonna tell you something, Mickey.
Mm.
It's just like a caterpillar. Okay, it's beautiful. You know, when you see a caterpillar, it's like a worm. You be like, man, it's just a worm. This footwork, it's just a little worm. But then it goes through an evolutionary period in its cocoon, where it looks like it's not doing anything. That's the dead period, and then eventually it evolves into a beautiful butterfly, something entirely different from its origins. So looking at footwork, I love it. I love it from how it spread all over the world. I love it. I love it. When I first saw it on TV or when I first saw it on the internet, I was like, thank God them boys did it. and when they come with people like you, look, let me tell you how you inspired me, Mickey. When I first saw you, it was just like, first of all, somebody not looking like me, coming from a different place, that knows how to do what we do. I said, them boys, Boo, Jay, Ron, Charles, them boys, and the girls too as well. They done a great job. Donetta a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Talia, you know what I'm saying? Many more, and many more I can't name right now, as of right now in the new generation as well. I would like to see more queens of the circle versus more kings of the circle, but that's another story. We'll talk about that.
All right.
Wow, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Crossfire, you got some?
With Cross, come on, Cross. You already know, man. Cross, like, man, I've been around for a minute. I ain't kicked it with him, came over his house, everything, man.
Keep us. Y'all got a
Man.
question?
There you go.
Y'all got any questions? You got a question, Sean?
I was trying to get the pictures. I saw like somebody moving, but I was.
Did you? Okay.
I never used this on the phone before.
Okay, I think
okay?
yeah. We're
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
You hear okay? Yeah. So I guess actually first I wanted to say like, I do remember like seeing you at the Creation reunion. I think at like Smart Bar and a couple other spots. So like it's good to like see you here on this thing. One thing I did want to ask about those, you said both your parents were dancers. Your dad was a b-boy, your mom was a house dancer. I don't know if you like, you know, ever danced around them, or you feel like maybe you learned some of your style from them. I'm just kind of curious what your like relationship to like house and b-boy is in your own style, like footwork.
Well, exactly with the breakdancing, my uncles still kept it prevalent when my father passed on. My mother, she still does house to this day. She'll go to an old school house and they get the jacking and everything. Okay, so I dance with my mother all the time. Like every time me and my mother together, we still dance. She'll do some footwork too. She'd be like, yeah, y'all like to do this. So, because it was ghetto house at one point. Yeah. You know, that's where footwork evolved from. Ghetto house. You know, it's originally house, but when our era came, and me and Boo Dilla in them era, you know, and of course down to J-Ron in them era, and Charles in them era, it was ghetto house. You know? So it's like, it was just natural for us to do because we were already exposed to these movements, these way of movement, the sound of the music, the upbeat, boop, 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 you know, jacking and everything. So, hey, man, yeah, I remember you. Hey, how you doing there? How you doing? Hey, I remember you guys. Hey.
Yep.
This is beautiful, man. This is beautiful.
Yes, it is.
And you actually do house. You actually, and I believe she does house as well.
Yeah.
Do house. Hey, y'all keep up the good work, okay? With your own uniqueness, keep it going. Keep evolving with this culture. You know, keep your way, your style, what comes natural, utilize it, you know, and I'm proud of it. I'm glad that you all are part of the family. Well, welcome.
Hey,
Any more questions?
any more questions? Somia, you got a question? Ken Lowe. I don't know. Okay.
I actually have a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Somia.
Yeah. So it was seriously a very inspiring talk. I actually liked it. Thank you so much. My question was actually, I've heard it from a lot of people, and I've heard it from you too, BeBe, that there's stories behind moves, a lot of moves. So can you like talk about one move, pick a move, and then say the story? Like I've heard a lot. Everyone says that there's a story why this move came in or why that move came in. So can you like illustrate one move and say what the story behind was?
Well, you guys may be familiar where you might have seen a lot of dancers, footworkers, get their feet together and kind of like break them in, so to speak. That one particular move, that was at one point in footwork, that was a no-no. You know, it was a move that was dismissed, omitted. You know, it was not acceptable. And I actually did that move and made that move popular because you know, I felt at the time I felt it was necessary to break out, to think outside the box, go against the norm, so to speak, if that makes any sense. Like, so you'll see me or Charles or somebody do that little squinch in with the move in the middle where your feet together, where they spread apart, then you bring them in.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that came from. You know, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You know, it was not a very popular move. It was not a move that you could do in a battle back then, and it would get, you know, it would be impactful. Where it did become impactful with a battle with me and Snoop, but that's another story. But that's where it originated from. That's where I started to get known as a shorty. When I was at Total Impact, my first major battle was with Snoop of HOC.
Hey, Snoop was a monster, boy.
Yes, yes. But I came at him.
Snoop from HOC, man.
Yeah.
I remember I finally got a chance to go against him one time. I'm like, man, what was that, King of the Circle, I think? Yep, King of the Circle. I'm like, I gotta take advantage of this opportunity. I don't care if you old, I gotta take advantage.
You gotta do it. There's no name out there, guys.
For real.
It was more so about names. Anybody else got anything? Any other questions?
I got a question.
All right,
what's up, bro?
It's Ken Low-Key. In your opinion, as a person who I consider a master teacher, what would you say makes a good footworker?
Well, you say as a master teacher, and I take that, Ken Lo, as I take that as with all gratitude, sir, because me and you have a long-standing history. One thing that I realized what makes a good footworker is realizing, if you would have asked me that today, is realizing that, you know, there's always room for improvement. And humility comes before honor. You know, never get to the point where you get, you know, heavy is the head that wear the crown. You get what I'm saying? It's like repetition, discipline, you know, really taking the time to really critique your craft. Even when it's good, it's never good enough. Always evolving, always growing, always looking to reach the next level. Having no limits. you know, and realizing that your greatest competition is self. It's not the person standing in front of you. Does that clarify something for you, Kenlo?
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Charles, you want to add something?
Preach, brother, preach.
Yeah,
Who's that?
I got to slide in a little bit, so I just wanted to jump on it.
Hey,
First off,
hey, sir.
J. Ron, you know, for throwing these discussions. It's very needed in 2020. And I wanted to say, it's not a question, but I wanted to say to BeBe, I wanted to say, I don't know if I ever thanked you for battling side by side with me at the Havoc picnic, but I wanted to show you some gratitude for jumping in and looking out for your boy on the floor, because that was serious. That was serious business. You shut the whole thing down. So I appreciate that.
Well, Charles, you always know, you and J. Rod and Boo Dilla, y'all, we all family. You know what I'm saying? So it was not nothing, because Havoc, I'm gonna tell you, Charles, actually, Havoc, what I appreciated, see, when J. Ryan came, what was so big to me was heartfelt that J. Ryan came back to me, like really took the time to really teach me being a student. Once again, him being a student, but teaching his teacher. I learned from my student. I learned from J. Ryan. I learned from you, Charles, from afar. You know, actually, I'm gonna show y'all something else that's gonna be dope too, because I've been watching all y'all. But Charles, you know, I'm gonna stand up for you. You know, I'm gonna stand up for all y'all. But I don't want it to be Havoc, because that's like my family. You know what I'm saying? Bro, that's like brothers. I know it was just friendly, all friendly, but I was like, man, come on, why is it everybody in the family fight like your family, like a bad family reunion? Like, you see what I'm saying, Boo? Like everybody drunk, you got your drunk cousins, everybody just fighting each other. I'm like, where's the competition?
Right.
Well, you get what I'm saying? Where's the real competition? Okay, we just gonna have fun. Okay, all right, I get you. Keep each other sharp. Iron sharp as iron. Okay, it's not personal.
Yeah, iron sharp as iron.
You know, so y'all, I will be more out of the picture in regards to, I will show up at this Havoc reunion, because that was like the first Havoc reunion that I ever went to, and the feeling just felt so good to be around everybody and see the kids getting involved and keeping this thing going. You know what I'm saying? The new generation, it's their turn now. You know, we pass it down to each and every one. And I appreciate the great amount of work you all did with introducing footwork to the world. Like, you are footwork now. You guys are the pioneers of footwork at this moment. So just keep it going, man. Make sure they have a respect for this art that we created. That's in our blood. You know, that's in our history. And even those that came on board and had a lot to say about it. Because hip hop gets a lot of respect. Let me see, house, yeah. All different forms of dance get a lot of respect, but it's like with footwork, it hasn't really broken that barrier quite yet, if that makes any sense. If y'all understand what I'm saying.
No, I understand.
Definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah. Before we close it out, give them your social media. BeBe.
Boo, they can find me if anybody want to connect with me. I'm not hard to reach. You can find me on Facebook as L Darius, which is Darius. That's my biological name. You can reach out to me. I don't know if y'all prefer I give out a number or not. I don't know if anybody needs to contact me. I mean, it's no thing to me. 708-530-4355. I'm willing to connect with anybody in the culture, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. I don't have no shame in it. I'm not worried about that. I'm willing to connect with anybody. There's no big eyes or little U's, no matter what side of the fence you're on. Matter of fact, I want to give a big shout out to the Era for representing in Chicago, doing their thing too. Can I get them some props? You know what I'm saying? Because we all a part of this thing. So, you know, big ups to them. And Sean, ain't no big eyes, little U's, whatever. If you're teaching anybody how to footwork today, you're doing something. No task is too big or too small. So we all contributing in our own way, you know.
Factual, man. But we do want to appreciate you, BeBe, for, you know what I'm saying, taking the time out of your schedule, you know what I'm saying, and being on our show, you know what I'm saying, our podcast. Like I said, this is more of an outlet for, you know what I'm saying, not just Chicago foot workers, but just, you know, people that's in the arts period, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
that basically explain and tell their side, you know what I'm saying, of the story, of the coin, you know what I mean? Also, we want to appreciate everybody else for joining us today, you know what I'm saying, tonight, you know what I mean? Also, J. Ryan, give them the picnic, information about the picnic.
So we will be having the Havoc reunion picnic. It will be August 2nd. And we definitely gonna be streaming this year too. For those that can't make it, we will be streaming. So around the world. So for those that won't be able to be in attendance physically, you'll be able to tune in from there. I'm gonna be posting on my social media, of course, you know, the links and everything to get in tune with that. But for those that's trying to come out, everything is free as always. Food, drinks, all of that be provided. Just come out, have fun. We got the whole like park for the kids and things like that, and we got a cold DJ set. I can't even say all the DJs yet because, you know, we trying to keep it as a surprise. But just know it's as always, it's some hitters on this DJ list. But we basically just want to showcase the Chicago talent, represent all the crews, and also the ones that we lost. You know what I'm saying? From the DJs we lost, from the footworkers we lost. And the main thing is just about the unity. So we just gonna be having fun. I know a lot of people been looking for an event to go to because of people been footworking, and a lot of buildings and things hasn't been open due to what's been going on. So this probably gonna be like even more packed from the previous years because you got so many people thirsty to do something. So it's definitely gonna be, it's enough room, but it's just gonna be it's just come out, man. August 2nd is the Havoc picnic, and yeah, just bring yourself and come have some fun.
Yeah.
I gotta say this real quick. Just know it's gonna be all flame August 2nd.
Hey, Crossfire,
look at him, man.
Crossfire has a ball every time. Every
all
year,
flame.
Crossfire has a ball.
All flame.
Hey, bro.
How to
Also, I actually have an event July 26th. It's a fit day party. The tickets is on. The tickets is out now. Please get your tickets because they're going quick as ever. It's a fitness party basically. It's an hour and a half of fitness and then an hour and a half of just partying. We'll have games there. It's a 21 and up party, so you know, adults only. And yeah, it's a Sunday as well. It's a Sunday from 12.
Where will it be held?
It's on 119th, 415 West 119th Street. I'm sorry, East. East 119th Street. The flyer is on my page on my Facebook and my Instagram, and I'll also be, you know, putting it out there again for next week. Also, I have I have a class tomorrow night, Chicago footwork class tomorrow night at all that jazz on 119th. This is west of the 19th Street. We will be doing from 7 to 8. Also, Charles, if you can give them information about the
Footworkology.
Yeah, the camp.
Yeah, so we're Creation Global is presenting our first online Chicago footwork camp for everybody, keeping people busy, just trying to support what everybody's doing in the culture. So we're doing that from August 10th to the 16th. We're gonna have 15 teachers, and then 20 classes for a low price of $50 if people want to take the whole camp. And then if you have like studios or programs of kids, and you can bring 5 or more, we'll discount you to $40 for the whole camp. There's going to be special classes from Foundation 1 classes to Foundation 2 classes to elective classes like fusions from tap dance mixed with Chicago footwork to bang out workout, ghetto house class with Budilla, choreography, Chicago footwork, house mixed with Chicago footwork, Brazilian dance mixed with Chicago footwork. We're trying to bring the world together and connect it with Chicago and you know, keep everybody engaged in a positive way. So if y'all interested, check out CFology on Instagram. Kelly right here is helping me set things up. She'll probably type the Instagram on there for y'all. And you know, it's for everybody, for all ages. So y'all are welcome.
Please support that, man. This like first time ever. So support that.
So support the movement. And we shall see you guys next go around for the Behind the Name. Appreciate everybody, like I said, and hope everybody have a good, safe night. And make sure y'all stay masked up because we still out here.
BeBe, the most humble footworker I've ever known. Salute, cuz. True story. The most humble.
I learned a lot, as always.
The most humble.
So thanks a lot, BeBe, and out. You know what I'm saying? We'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace and
Salute. Salute. Peace.